What does it actually look like when a cat is well cared for? Not just fed and healthy, but genuinely at ease in your home, day after day. Cats aren't loud about it. They don't come running to tell you, but they leave small clues over and over, and most of us walk right past them without noticing. So let's start with the one you can catch in a single glance. Sign 1. How she sleeps when the house goes quiet. Find her mid-nap, sometime not curled defensively, but sprawled loose on her side, or flipped onto her back with her belly wide open to the room. That stomach is the one part of her body with almost nothing guarding it. No thick muscle, no fur padding, nothing between the outside world and everything that matters underneath. A cat only leaves that open when her body has already decided nothing here is going to hurt her. Watch closely, and you'll catch the small extras too, a paw twitching, whiskers flickering, breathing slow and even. That's a nervous system that has completely stood down. And here's what a lot of owners get backwards. A cat who naps somewhere hidden isn't necessarily anxious. Sometimes she just wants the warm spot, or the quiet corner. What actually tells you something is the posture itself tight and curled means alert. Loose and sprawled means she's stopped watching the door. Sign 2. What her eyes do the second she looks at you. In a cat's world, holding a stare is confrontational. It's how two cats size each other up before a fight. So when your cat locks eyes with you and then, instead of holding it, lets her eyelids drop halfway and close slow, that's not sleepiness. That's a deliberate signal. Behaviorists sometimes call it the eye soften, and it's one of the few gestures a cat has to say without any doubt that she doesn't see you as a threat. Try it back sometime. Catch her gaze, relax your own face, and blink slowly on purpose. A lot of cats will mirror it right back, sometimes a few times in a row, like a quiet back and forth conversation with no words in it. Owners often assume a squint means irritation or discomfort, but paired with a relaxed body and no tension around the whiskers. It's closer to the opposite. It's her version of letting her guard all the way down in front of you. Sign 3. How she moves through the house when nothing's happening. A cat who trusts her environment doesn't stick to one safe room. She walks across open floor without hesitating. She hops onto the counter to investigate a grocery bag. She noses into a cardboard box the second it hits the floor. No pause, no scanning the room first. That confidence isn't random, it comes directly from how safe her territory feels to her. A cat living with any real ongoing stress tends to shrink her world down to 1 or 2 spots she trusts completely, and everywhere else becomes something to avoid. So when she claims the whole house, every room, every surface, every weird new object you bring inside, that's her telling you, without a single sound, that nothing in this space has ever hurt her. A lot of owners see the counter jumping and the box diving as mischief to correct. It might need redirecting, sure, but underneath it is genuine, hard-earned confidence. And that part's worth appreciating even while you're gently steering her toward the cat tree instead. Sign 4. What she does the second you sit down. Some cats head straight for your lap. Others settle for pressing against your leg or draping themselves along the back of the couch just close enough to touch you. And a lot of cats bring you things a toy mouse dropped by your foot, a slow headbutt against your hand until you start petting her. Every one of those is a cat choosing you over every other spot in the house. The headbutt in particular is worth noticing. The scent glands along her face mark you as hers, as part of her world, in a way she doesn't do to furniture or strangers. Bringing you a toy taps into something even older, an instinct built around sharing a catch with the group she trusts. None of this is her asking for something from you first. It's her initiating closeness on her own, for no reason except that she wants to be near you, and that's exactly why it matters. Sign 5. How she handles the ordinary chaos of your day. The vacuum turns on, a guest walks in. The pot clatters in the kitchen, and instead of bolting under the bed for the next 3 hours, she startles, maybe, then settles back down within a few minutes. A cat who feels chronically unsafe treats every disruption as a 5-alarm event. A cat who feels genuinely secure treats most of them as background noise. That kind of quick recovery is one of the clearest signs her stress levels sit low most of the time, because a nervous system that's constantly on edge doesn't bounce back that fast. It stays wound up for hours. Owners sometimes misread a jumpy reaction as proof their cat is generally anxious, but the reaction itself matters less than the recovery. Startled and back to normal in 2 minutes is a completely different cat than startled and hiding until dinner. Sign 6. The routine she settles into without you ever teaching it to her. She shows up near the kitchen around the same time every evening, not frantic, just expectant. She has a spot she gravitates toward once the lights go down, maybe next to you, maybe just in the same room, close enough to keep you in view. She moves through her day on a rhythm that's entirely her own, and it rarely changes. Predictability does something for a cat's nervous system that novelty never can. It lowers the baseline hum of stress hormones running in the background, day after day. A cat who trusts that food, quiet, and company will show up reliably doesn't need to stay braced for anything. Some owners worry their cat's life looks boring from the outside. Nothing exciting, same 4 rooms, same nap spots. But for a cat, boring is often the whole point. Steady and unremarkable is what safe actually looks like, day to day. If you want to help that routine stay solid, keep her feeding times and quiet spots consistent, instead of shuffling them around. Small disruptions to a routine build up faster than people expect, even when nothing about them seems serious. A predictable day is one of the easiest, lowest effort gifts you can give her. It costs nothing, and it's often what she notices the most. Sign 7. How she approaches her food bowl. Eating leaves any cat a little exposed, head down, focus narrowed, attention off everything else around her. So the way she walks up to a meal actually says a lot about how safe she feels while she's distracted. A well-cared-for cat approaches at an easy, unhurried pace, settles in, and eats at a steady rhythm without flinching at every small sound in the house. She's not gulping like the bowl might disappear, and she's not circling it nervously for 5 minutes before committing. Eating calmly, often right out in the open while people move around her, shows she trusts that nothing bad happens while her guard is down. A sudden change in that pattern, skipping meals or suddenly acting frantic around food, is usually one of the first things worth mentioning to a vet, since appetite shifts early when something's off. Sign 8. The sounds she saves just for you. Adult cats barely meow at each other. Among themselves, grown cats mostly rely on scent and body language, saving vocal sounds for rare moments. The meow is something cats largely developed to talk to people, which means the amount she talks to you is worth paying attention to. A soft greeting meow at the door, a chirp when she spots you across the room, a little trill as she walks over. These are warm, easy, low-stakes sounds that come from a cat who feels comfortable keeping up a back and forth with you. It's different from a cat who stays largely silent, or one whose vocal tone suddenly shifts to something urgent and repetitive. The everyday chatter, the small conversational noises, are usually a sign of a relaxed, well-bonded cat who has learned that talking to you actually gets a response. Sign 9. How quickly she comes back after being handled. Nail trims, vet visits, being picked up and moved somewhere she didn't choose. These are all small moments of mild stress, even in the gentlest home. What matters isn't whether she tenses up in the moment. Almost every cat does. What matters is how fast she comes back to normal afterward. A cat who shakes it off within a few minutes, resumes grooming and wanders back over to you shortly after, is a cat whose baseline trust in you is strong enough to absorb a little discomfort without lasting damage. A cat who stays rattled for hours or avoids you noticeably afterward is telling you something different about how safe those interactions currently feel. Quick recovery after a small stressor is one of the more reliable, if easy to miss, signs that the overall relationship is a secure one. Sign 10. Whether she still seeks out play as an adult. Kittens play constantly, almost by default, but a grown cat who still drops into a crouch, wiggles, and launches after a toy or ambushes your ankle in the hallway for no obvious reason is showing you something meaningful. Play takes energy, which points to a healthy body. It takes confidence, which points to a safe environment, and it takes a relaxed mind, which points to low overall stress. Cats who feel unwell, frightened, or tense tend to go quiet and stop playing almost entirely. So a cat who still chases, pounces, and wrestles with a toy well into adulthood is telling you in a fairly direct way that all three of those things, body, environment, and mind, are currently in good shape. Put all these signs together, and what you're really looking at isn't a checklist of separate behaviors. It's one cat who has decided, in her own quiet way, that your home is somewhere nothing bad happens. She's not telling you that with words. She never will. But she's been telling you anyway, every single day, in the sprawl of her nap, the slow blink across the room, and the fact that out of the entire house, she still keeps choosing the spot next to you. So take a second and think it over. Which of these did you already notice without realizing what it meant? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely love to hear about your cat. And if this changed the way you're going to watch her tonight, stick around, because next time we're covering the small habits that quietly wear down a cat's sense of safety, even when the owner means well.